Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWP Practice Problem 13.4. So for this problem, we're going to make this basic propeller shape, extrude it 100, cut away this part with a revolve cut, and then work on these fillets here, and shelling out the inside, and also making these holes. Actually, we'll do the holes first and then shell out the inside. All right, let's get started on all of that in the front plane. So first up, I'm going to make a couple of circles. The inner circle, which has diameter of 55, and then we have this construction circle. I'll hit Alt-C to make it construction because the C is underlined here. And that's just for reference to get a sense of where those, not quite the tips of the propellers are, but at least where the circles at the ends of the propellers are. And then I'm going to make a circle down here at the bottom. And this one is going to have a diameter of 40. And you can see that from this view. So diameter of 40 for each of these 3 circles at the tips. Now, the other little circles we're going to add using the hole wizard, but this is kind of the main body here that we're working on. So, all right. Now we have 3 of these circles, so let's do a circular pattern with those 3. Oops. So let me grab this one, do a circular sketch pattern. We want 3 of them. And we can go ahead and hit the green check. There we go. And if we click here and make this vertical, it'll lock these ones down in place. Otherwise, you can sort of rotate them off of the construction circle, and we don't want that. We could also probably just lock one of these down in the construction circle and everything will be fine too. Now let's work on the lines. So for this, I'm going to make a tangent line going into here somewhere and then coming off as a tangent line. There we go. Just double check we got tangency here, tangency here. Remember, we're going to add this as a 3-dimensional fillet later. And then we can do this for the other parts as well. Make sure I get tangency. And if you don't grab tangency, it's okay. Just put it in later. Okay, just double check tangent. Oops, I think I didn't grab tangency for this one. So let me click here, control click, and make tangent. Okay, tangent, tangent. Oh, I think I didn't get it over here too. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so one of the things is we're going to have to make an angle here of half of 20, so that's going to be 10. And I could have probably used the center line for this as well, but that's okay. And one thing we can do too is make sure that all of these things are equal in length. So we'll go around clicking on all of them, make equal, and there we go, fully defined. So all we needed was that first one set at the correct angle, and because of the way that these intersect, everything else when we make them equal length is going to make this fully defined. So that's looking good. Okay, now we can extrude. We'll go ahead and extrude this 100, and we'll select this part and each of these circles here too. And actually I just realized that I'm going to extrude it in the other direction. It doesn't really matter too much, but to me it looks like this part right here is the bottom, because when you look at here it looks like this is the bottom, so we're extruding into the plane. Okay, again, minor detail, but there it is. All right, so let's do the, let's go ahead and do the cut, the revolve cut. So for that, I'm going to work in the top plane and basically make a little shape coming off of here. And when this revolves around, it's going to make that cut off of the top. All right. Okay, let me just draw a center line too for reference. I'm going to need that in a moment. Now the this dimension here is going to be 10 because we can see that little bump up here is 10. And then we've got, we're basically drawing this part right here. Little trapezoid. And so since this angle is 17, this angle here would also be 17. And then the distance from this edge to the center line is 200. So let's put those two in there. That should fully define everything. 17 degrees. And then, actually I'll just go from the origin out to this side. Is 200. All right, looking pretty good. Oh, one more thing I forgot actually. We can move this in and out. So we need to define the distance from this edge to the center. And for that, it looks like the outer circle here has a diameter of 80. So that distance will be half of that, which is 40. So let me grab this line and the center line, or I could have done the origin as well. And so we'll do half of 80, which is 40. Okay, now we're fully defined. Now we can do a revolve cut. It automatically grabbed that center line, so we'll just hit enter, and there we go. Okay, so looking pretty good so far. Let's take a moment and add our fillets in before we forget. So these are going to be 40. Grab that one and that one. Right. And from this point, we want to do two things. We want to make these holes with the hole wizard. Now, the holes here are a little bit awkward because see how these are coming in they're coming in perpendicular to this line, but not perpendicular to this surface. So when you drill the hole, you don't really want to put the point on the surface because, or you don't want to be in this plane when you're in the hole wizard because it's going to go perpendicular to that plane. So what I'm going to do is get a plane that's like at this level right here. So I'm going to get a plane that's at this level, so basically at the top right here, and then place some points where the holes should be, and then drill down to create these holes here. Okay, and as the hint says, we're going to need to do a sketch modification. So that's what I'm going to do here is do a sketch modification after we drill those holes. But let's see how this works here. So first grab a plane that's a little bit above. And so when we place these points where the holes are going to be, we can grab the center of one of these circles or arcs right there. We'll place another point. Oops. Over here. And then finally wake up the center. There it is. One right there. Okay, so you can see where these little points are. And so from those points, we're going to drill downward into the places where the holes should be. So let's go into our hole wizard. We have that sketch already selected, so it's going to automatically grab those 3 points and start drilling holes. And for the options, we're going to have counterbore, ANSI and then it tells you use a hex head bolt. So that's going to be hex bolt, and it'll turn into hex head bolt when you actually put the holes in. And then the size is M12. There we go, M12. And we are probably going to have to do some custom sizing right here. So if you don't have this option already on, you want to do some custom sizing. because right here it looks like it gives you the diameters of each of the parts of the hole. So the bigger one has a diameter of 24, and the smaller one, which is down below, has a diameter of 14. So let's set those up. This is 24, and the smaller one is 14. Oops. Looks good. And we'll just go ahead and click the green check. Make sure your end condition is something like through all to make sure it goes all the way to the end. So when we hit the green check, that's good, but we want to actually make that bigger hole go down a little bit. And you can see how far down it should go. It should go down so that this distance right here is 15 millimeters. So what we can do is go into that sketch that was made by the hole wizard, which was this one. We can go into that sketch, and rather than having this dimension be locked down, so I'm going to click on that dimension and hit delete. So that way I can move this up and down. I'm going to dimension this guy right here to be 15. And when I exit the sketch, you should see that we've got the correct counterbore hole going in there. So that's pretty cool. This is actually the first time I've ever done this, and like edit a hole wizard sketch. So that's pretty cool. I think there was a hole wizard, like a level 11 problem that was asking you to do something like this, and I didn't know how to do this back then, so maybe I'll go back and rework that video. All right, so now all we have left is the sketch. The shell. So we want a shell with a thickness of 8, which appears right here, thickness of 8 all the way around. And you can see the thickness of 8 right here as well. But right here, we want the thickness to be more. And in fact, they give you what the thickness should be. It should be 12.5. And this is just a reference, but it's going to be helpful when we're trying to do the multi-thickness shell option. So let's get into that. So the main thickness is going to be 8, and we want to open up this face. You can see what the preview is going to look like here. That's going to create a nice looking shell for most of it. But let me, actually I'll leave the preview on. But we want this face right here to have a little bit thicker of a shell. We want it to be that 12.5. So you can see that widens the shell just for that face. And there's another issue, and I'm not sure if this is how they intended it to be resolved or not, but I noticed that when you make the hole first, then and do the shell, the smaller part of the hole has a different shell part, a different looking part for the shell than the bigger hole. So if we were to just hit the green check right here, you would see a problem. This is the radius that we want, but we want it to go all the way down to the bottom here. We don't want this to be, because if we look at the thickness, right here it's going to be 8 thick, but right here it's also 8 thick, but we don't want that. We want a slightly bigger thickness right there. You can actually see it in this picture. This needs to be a little bit thicker than this. This should be 8, but this right here, we can calculate the thickness. It's basically going to be the diameter of the big circle minus the diameter of the little circle, so that's 24 minus 14, divided by 2, because there are 2 halves here, divided by 2, so that's going to be 5. And so we need to get that distance of 5 plus the 8 to give you a total distance from here to here of 13. So that thickness of that part should be 13. Well, thankfully we can do multi-thickness in our shell. So let's go back into the shell and select this face right here, but change its thickness to 8 plus 5, so that's 13. And you can see right away it now matches perfectly. So that's exactly what we want. So then all we have to do is go into the other faces, 13 and 13. And once you have it primed with the 13 millimeters, all the new faces that you click are going to be 13 millimeter shells. And so we can click the green check and it looks good. So the volume that we get here is 1063623.07. Not quite the volume here. This is 1063598.6 cubic millimeters, but definitely within the 0.5%, well within the 0.5%. And in fact, if you change the accuracy level, it gets even closer. It's really, really close. Like it might be like 2 cubic millimeters different. So I think that's pretty good, considering that these are big numbers that are being rounded. And so I think we can call that problem completed. But I would be interested to see if you guys have other ways of solving this, and if you got the exact volume that is listed there, because this one I feel like could be done many different ways. So thanks so much for watching. Take care and keep studying.